Okay.
1 second. Oh, we're live. That's okay. Can you hear the TV? And we're fine. Hello and welcome to the completely unprofessional Superconnectivity, part of the Capes and Lunatics podcast. Don't associate us with those professionals over at Southgate Media. No, you know what? It's all good. We do podcasting for the love of the art, not the money of the game. Okay, I am your host, as always, Charlie, the Professor F. Esser. Don't know my own dang name. And with me, as always, is the man who stays sober during the entire podcast.
Fill me in Parrot.
That's the one. We gotta have. He's our designated podcaster. You know, he does not.
I'm the sober one of Capes and Lunatics.
Yeah, me and Lilith, we're having fun. Taking this poor man down, please.
It's the end of the year. Apple juice is flowing.
Yeah, you know how it goes. Anyway, and apple juice. Oh, I have so many things to talk about. Say busy. I don't know. Folks, I know you love just to listen to Superconnectivity for its half hour of power. You're going to have to listen to Capes and Lunatics this week.
Half hour?
Well, we're going to try for that. Because I don't think we can cover it all this week. Okay. Starting off, breaking news. Breaking news. The synopsis for the Bumblebee movie has been released. And as every old man of my age who knew the Transformers when they were good said, they finally fixed Bumblebee.
I guess I must be old too, because I watched that original cartoon while I was 6, but I don't know what your excuse was.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. You were old enough to maintain memories, and that's important.
Yes.
So the synopsis for the new Bumblebee film has been released, and apparently it's a lady named Charlie, I.E., which is why I always spell my name Charlie with an I.E.
How'd she spell hers?
Because
with
it's
an I?
So the masculine form of Charlie is with a Y. Generally speaking, the masculine form will always have a Y. The feminine form will have either an I or an IE. The IE is usually gender neutral.
Mm.
And so I spell it Charlie with an IE. You very rarely see a female spell Charlie with a Y.
So
of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was going to say, I did see the whole thing that the synopsis was out. I didn't read it because all I saw was they said Bumblebee is going to be the VW bug again. And I was like, that's it. I'm sold.
VW bug. Exactly.
Yes.
Bug again. And it's important that he's a VW bug. This is why the Transformers, every iteration of Transformers has always been awful and sucked and bad. Because the reason why he is a VW bug is a VW bug does not stand out. You're never going to see a VW bug and think, why is there a VW bug here? Because a VW bug was for the Wagner Volk, the Volkswagens, the people of the car, which means that it didn't matter if you were rich or you were poor, you could drive a Volkswagen. It was fine vehicles. And Bumblebee's original story is he is an infiltration unit. And so we're going to have Bumblebee in his bug form being found. And okay, not for nothing, I'm going to call this out that they didn't cast Lindsay Lohan in this. Because let's be honest here, this is basically Herbie fully loaded. But as a drama, I guess, is the idea. Because, of course, honestly, in my mind, in my headcanon, the entire Herbie series was intensely influential on the Transformers because, because basically in Herbie, Fully Loaded, you have this sentient vehicle. You have a car that is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not fully loaded, but all of the Herbies. It's a car that's alive. It's a car that has the sense of sentience. I always liked the fact that Herbie didn't have an origin. There's no origin of Herbie. You know that?
Just is, yeah.
He just is. Herbie just is. And Lindsay Lohan had her Herbie fully loaded. The last Herbie film I saw was Herbie Goes Bananas. I'm okay that Lindsay Lohan is associated with the Herbie franchise because I do like Lindsay Lohan. I think that the girl, I think she's had some hard hands handed to her. Not for nothing. Yeah, you roll your eyes because she's a rich famous actress. Yeah, but you don't know what it's like to be a rich famous actress, Phil.
Tell us, Charlie, how is it like to be a rich famous actress?
Oh, when I was a rich famous actress. No, you know what?
Because his name's spelled with an I. Because his name is spelled with an I.
Empathetic.
Yeah. I have no problem.
I'm intensely empathetic. So whenever I see a celebrity go through troubles, I actually feel sorry for him. I was like, oh man, I'd hate if everything I did was up on the internet. Not for nothing, Phil. Unlike you, who's an upstanding family man who does nothing ever to incur the wrath of the hoi polloi. I've crossed some lines in my life, and I'd hate to have that played big and bold, both in court documents and my daily Twitter feed.
I have no problem with Lindsay Lohan or these other celebrities. It's just, I'm not saying money solves all your problems, but I mean, you're handed this fame and fortune that only a certain amount of people in the world are, and then you still, I don't know, manage to be woe is me. And
all these things I will give thee if you will but bow down and worship me. Yeah, see, that's what Satan says to Jesus in the desert. He takes him to the mountaintop and he shows him all the kingdoms of the world and says, hey, you can rule every kingdom, which is important because it shows that Christ is both God and man. That the Genesian blasphemy was actually false because that offer would have no meaning to a God, but to a man, because Satan knows Jesus is a man.
So who's the devil of Hollywood? Enough about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, well, cut me off. I'm waxing 12th grade Catholic school catechism here for you, man. Most of you folks didn't have 12th grade catechism from a Catholic school. I got it. I want to share that with you.
I only went to Catholic school until 4th grade, so
there you go. See, yeah. Well, it's cost prohibitive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, that's the big failure. You see, well,
see, all right, hold on. We're off track. This is why you're like half an hour. I'm like, okay, half an hour. But no, all right.
Okay. By the way, so they fixed Bumblebee here, right? So, we're having with the show.
Yeah, so
let's go to the next topic.
I didn't read. Well, first, before we leave Bumblebee, I didn't read the synopsis. Is this like a reboot or a prequel? Or
no, this takes basically like all movies of the future. It's going to the past.
Prequel.
All films in the future are costume dramas, which means this is set in 1987, which of course was when fashion peaked. Everything about humanity peaked in 1987. Everything since 1987. We've had our good times, our bad times, but that was really, you're not going to get better than 1987. I'm sorry. The end of the Reagan era, there was just enough discontent with Reagan, but it was the peak. There was a moment when humanity felt truly alive. 1987. You know.
So it's gonna be kind of sad though, isn't it? 'Cause, I mean, he's the VW Bug. I wonder if by the end of the movie we're gonna see him get the form we saw him in the other movies, or yeah.
You know what's annoying? The entire reason
Michael Bay's Transformers
that he was a Camaro Camaro is Chevrolet, because Chevy
branding,
had bought the right.
Advertising.
Yeah, basically all the Transformers were Chevys.
Mm-hmm.
Which, honestly, the person who approved that deal, first off, they're an idiot. You know why they're an idiot, Phil?
Why are they?
Because they're an idiot because they sold a blanket right rather than selling each Transformer piecemeal. So they could have gone to Volkswagen and say, it's going to be the biggest film in the world. He can either be a VW Bug or he can be a Dodge Omni. Do you want people thinking, oh, let's bring back the Bug, or do you want people thinking, let's bring back the Omni?
Don't bring back that was my first car. Don't bring that back.
The Omni was a good car. I had an Omni. It's Old Bluey, we called her. She was nice. She was blue. I like the Dodge Omni. Actually, it's a pretty cool car. Actually, I'm a big fan of Dodges, so I'm not really hating on Chevrolet, but I'm just saying it was a bad business choice.
It just seems like a lazy move. It's just like, instead of going the individual car companies, we're like, oh, one will pay us for all of them? Sold.
Yeah, and more to the point is this idea that, a Camaro doesn't blend in. A Camaro isn't
people are going to
subtle car.
Yeah. And
Bumblebee was a subtle car. And that's the most annoying. See that? So basically, you had a confluence of lazy writers, Mr. Bay, and lazy salespeople.
You're on our list now, Bay, along with Buck.
Because he could have been a Dodge Omni, because that's his Chevrolet. No, that's a Chrysler. But he could have been a Chevrolet Cabriolet. He could have been a Chevette. That's the car he should have been.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been a Chevette. He could have been a fine little quiet workhorse car, but no, they said make him a Camaro. And that's the problem. And that's not who Bumblebee is. That's jazz. There are a lot of great sports cars. And if you want to write the story to be about jazz, that's fine. You might actually have to cast an African American as one of the central characters. Scatman Carruthers, man. He was great as jazz. Although, of course, they took away, not for nothing, I think they took away Bumblebee's voice box in the first film expressly to not have to cast an African American. Because they were probably thinking, we can make it jazz. And they're like, but they're going to be mad that we didn't cast a black person. We'll say it's Bumblebee. Instead of making him jazz, we're going to paint him yellow. We're going to say it's Bumblebee.
No.
Like, yeah, we see you, racist Hollywood.
See you.
Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so I'm this is the first Transformers film I've ever been excited about. And so I'm very proud of that. And I'm glad. What do you think, Phil?
This is the first movie I'm excited for since the 1986 animated movie.
Oh, that was a good one.
And then they stomped on my heart when they killed Prime, but
You know what? Prime had to die.
I was 8. Tell me that.
Yeah. No, I mean, in all honesty, it was 38. Here we go, folks. This is what I'm cooking now.
This is our cooking
That's
portion.
A quiche.
Look at that quiche. See, this is why you should.
Yeah.
This is why you should subscribe to our YouTube. Look at that quiche.
Ladies, I'm married.
Let's never slow them down.
Yeah. Okay. Just gotta let the quiche cool for a minute, and it will be good. Okay. So there we go. There was a whole thing Phil and I worked up to check on the quiche, and then I remembered, hey, I have a laptop. I can unplug this thing you walk over and check the keys. So there we go.
You didn't have to.
And there's the power.
Okay. These are my hardworking cohorts here. Charlie Esser.
Yes. Okay. So what else do we have to talk about? So the next thing on our list, Phil.
This little franchise named Star Wars made $4 billion.
Yes.
Who could have seen that coming?
It made $4 billion. Well, you know who thought it is Jeffrey Iger. Because Jeffrey Iger, when he went to buy Star Wars, said, "You know what? I'll give you $4 billion for it." And they said, and people said, "Hi, you'll never make that back." Did you see the prequels? And Gary said, "Oh no, I'm sorry. We're gonna actually hire writers for this."
Second movie, they already made it back.
Exactly, and not for nothing. That CBR makes the point that this doesn't count the cost of the movies, but it also doesn't count the money made from the merchandise.
Oh yeah,
merchandising. The flamethrower. The kids love this. And that, I think, is the crux of Yonder Biscuit.
I mean, I just bought my son a Star Wars Darth Vader lamp last night. So, yeah, there's Star Wars everything out there.
Yes, it is. And honestly, I, for one, welcome our Star Wars overlords.
And I mean, between the regular series and all these side movies, I mean, they're pumping out a Star Wars movie every year now.
Yeah, because an important thing to remember is that Star Wars $4 billion includes Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really their third movie.
Yeah.
Take a third movie, but they basically, why don't we just make extra movies?
It ain't bad. It's over
I'm just hoping we eventually get Splitter in a Jedi's eye.
And the next one, I mean, Rogue One, I mean, decent enough movie, but isn't the next one the Han Solo movie?
Yeah, there's some rumblings about that.
Oh,
they think that Han Solo may lose money.
Who knows? I mean, wasn't it that they originally shot it and then they didn't like the way the directors took it, so they brought in Ron Howard and he basically almost reshot the whole movie?
Yeah, well, right there, that's going to lose your money.
Yeah.
So you basically doubled the price of your film. So now Han Solo, and it's like, oh, I hope they got a good Han Solo.
I was gonna say, but it's Han Solo. Do you think that movie's going to make $1 billion though?
Who's playing Chewbacca? Is it still the same guy?
You would think they could do that.
Yeah, he's still alive, and he's 7 foot tall. There's only so many 7 foot tall actors. So,
hold on, I'll look it up. Go ahead, keep.
Yeah, I hope they don't recast Chewbacca. I mean, eventually they're going to have to, because of course this is a film from freaking 50 years ago.
I'm not seeing a Chewbacca, man. It's Chewbacca. Oh wait, no. Junos. Oh, it looks like a new guy.
Oh.
Junos, Joonas, Suotamo.
Yeah, I don't think that's the guy we're currently facing.
No. That's not him. No. It's a guy. It looks like he's wearing a basketball uniform and standing on a basketball court in this picture. So maybe it's like
I'm guessing he's probably a basketball player.
Yeah, they wanted to go for 7 foot tall guys.
Well, exactly. It's. But hey, okay, good for him. So he's the new Chewbacca, and they got to plan that stuff ahead, and hopefully the original Chewbacca is making his bones and elsewhere, and. And I guess there is this idea that maybe they needed someone a bit more spry who was more like that. And sadly, I don't know the actor's name. Isn't that awful of me? I'm such a bad fan. Write to me.
Paul Bettany's in this movie. It doesn't say as who, but Paul Bettany.
He plays the Vision.
Yes, that's right. Good job, Charlie. Clint Howard. All right. Yes.
Oh, Clint Howard's in it. Oh, Yet he won't cast Andy Griffith
and Woody Harrelson.
That's a sore point for that. I'm sorry, which one?
Woody Harrelson's in it.
I'm sorry?
Woody Harrelson.
Oh, Woody Harrelson. Oh, yeah. Well, we all knew Woody Harrelson was it. Woody Harrelson's in everything.
But I heard this, but I forgot. You know who's playing Lando? Donald Glover.
Oh, yes. I was going to say Donald Glover. That's a problem with famous black people. Sometimes you want to say that famous black person that you know, but they're going to say, "Oh, you just said that because that's the only black person you know." No, I know many famous black actors, but he would make a great Lando Calrissian.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to be a great Lando Calrissian. So we're going to get to see him, owning the Millennium Falcon. You know, there was a fan theory my friend Don LaRue had that I have made headcanon. That Anakin Skywalker actually built the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, come on. He would build half the universe then, because he built what, C-3PO?
Yeah, well, but you know what? Not for nothing, the entire Star Wars story is all about one dysfunctional family.
Well, not soon.
And how they ruined the entire galaxy.
This what is that? Ryan Johnson, the one who directed this last movie. I guess he got it okayed. I guess Ryan Johnson's going to be doing his own Star Wars trilogy, and he said it's going to have nothing to do with like it could be like all brand new characters.
Yeah, well, because apparently they wanted to make Rey like associated with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the original script of the current one, Rey was supposed to be like he actually Anakin's cousin's brother's former roommate's uncle.
What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Exactly, and that's what he said. It's like, no, she's absolutely nothing. It's the Force isn't just in one line.
Well, I mean, they could always switch that around because I know you haven't seen the movie yet, but the person who tells her she comes from nothing is Kylo Ren, so take that as you will.
Yeah, but it's better if that's the case.
Yeah.
It's better if it gets away from these Skywalkers, because the Skywalkers, not for nothing, kind of ruined the universe. Or I'm sorry, the galaxy.
Hogging the Force.
So that's always what I always say about this. That's like the weirdest thing to me about Star Wars is that you realize that it's a galaxy far, far away, which means everything that's happening here to the universe as a whole, there's no beyonder coming in. There's nothing. Oh, wipe away all that is. It's like, no, this is just a petty dispute. This is basically like when you have, one prince of one. So think about Germany. Actually, up until like the 1800s, where it's just all these different principalities, which means that there's just a local burgermeister, and he's really kind of an independent state. It's not an actual country. War that have their conflicts, whatever. Of that, all of that drama, that human moment of there's a war, we must defend the Republic, we must defend this or that. Space that's like 1,000 square miles, the surface of the Earth. It's not. Yeah, sorry. But I don't get to have my quiche till we're done. Here's a knife. Thank you, bud. Anyway, yeah, so that's the thing. Star Wars, it takes place in such an inconsequential corner of the backwater universe.
It's like the South Central of the universe.
Yeah. Oh, not even the South Central. That's at least central.
True.
This is like, the left arm of a spiral that's not even this galaxy.
Lower Nebraska.
Exactly. It's in that spot it's from that spot between the Dakotas. Not north, not south. It's just in the Dakotas somewhere.
I rule Central Dakota.
There should be a Central Dakota because to cut that state once more time. Because, you need a state with only 250,000 people. It's always fun when you live in a city that's bigger than most states. Well, you're in the Pittsburgh area, so I'll count you in there. Pittsburgh is bigger than most states.
That
is what is wrong with this country.
Decentralization. All right.
Yeah. Well, no, just the fact that, we don't have a real Democratic representation because the Dakotas with like 500,000 people get 3 electoral votes, and New York gets a lot more, but proportionally they get a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old saying that like it takes like 1,000 New Yorkers to make one Dakotan. Don't even get me started on Alaskans.
Shh, don't say that. Tomorrow's our special with 2 Alaskans.
Oh, I'll tell them right to their face. You have way too much power in this country.
That's right, everyone. If you haven't heard it yet, tune into our New Year's special, talking to the podcast, because who knows when stuff posts. All right,
2 freaking senators. It's like each of them get a senator. That's crazy.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Charlie.
Let's move on. Yes.
What's going on at Marvel? Why are all these cancellations?
Cancellations. Well, I mean, too many books. But you know what? Here's what I'm going to say about the cancellations. And I do think that this, Tom Brevoort made this point that, X-Men got canceled, Thor's gotten canceled. These books get canceled.
Yes.
That's how renumbering happens. Is they cancel Iron Fist, Power Man. They've all been canceled many times. Moon Knight. Goodness, this is like its 4th iteration.
Well, Moon Knight's still going.
Actually, Moon Knight might have
back. Moon Knight's still going, I believe.
Yeah, Moon Knight's still going. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of Phil Purchase out there that...
Maybe we'll talk about this on Capes, but there was a good episode. There was a good issue of Moon Knight this week.
Yeah, I was debating reading it, man. I was really, I'm trying to get all my books in.
Yeah,
it'll get rid eventually.
Some of them I think were canceled due to like story stuff because like they canceled Jean Grey, but that's because the Phoenix has started to resurrect this week.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, Gwenpool.
Yes, Gwenpool.
And right there, she knows she's been canceled. And it's fascinating because it's her perspective on, I made a choice, that's why I'm being canceled. I don't want to be what the fans want me to be. Which is such a beautiful tale of what through, because they have these characters, and when your characters are very much alive to you, and you're looking at it like, my character doesn't want to do that. My character is going to be mad if I make them do that. But then we make their character do that, and, it's what we have to do. But the fact of the matter is that in that moment when Gwenpool is dealing with the fact that she had this comic book history that went on for miles, and then she said, I will not become a villain. And then it fell off. And then she said, yeah, I basically have 2 issues left. Basically, she's going to get to March. That's what she understands. She's going to get to March.
Can the universe only withstand one fourth wall breaker at a time? And we kind of have that in Deadpool. You know what?
No, because Deadpool is nowhere near the 4th wall breaker that Gwenpool is.
Yeah,
Gwenpool
true.
Understands it in the way that Howard understands it. Surprised me that her and Howard don't team up more. It's dangerous. It's like having too many Infinity Stones in the same place, And yeah, it's like, she knows she's fictional, but she's also thing that is, because of course, old school Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And she's battling old school Doctor Doom. And she, of course, throws him into the infinite void beyond. And then he comes back. It's like, dude, I walk between dimensions all the time.
Yeah.
This isn't that weird. And within that concept, And then I love this idea that you see, and this is this interesting aspect of it, because of course within it you see people talking about what the reality is. Because as she's fighting Dr. Doom, and someone says, no, that's not Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is a good guy now. He's dressed like Iron Man. He's doing that whole thing. And that's when they flash back to the empty armor of Dr. Doom that's sort of healing it. And then you get to that, spoilers, you get to that final scene where Gwenpool is fighting Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom says, master of every dimension. And then real Dr. Doom shows up and says, yes, he is, and starts disassembling fake Dr. Doom, which is beautiful. And here's what I tell you, if Gwenpool ends, I will miss it, but I will say that was a good story. Because more than anything else, even though we want all stories to go forever, sometimes the stories need to end.
Well, plus, I mean, it's the world of comics. You never know. 6 months, a year from now, they could come back with a new Gwenpool, either a solo book or she's on somebody's team, or, you know.
Well, you know what? Not for nothing. Maybe that's what's being implied here in becoming a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? Villains never die.
True.
Villains keep on coming back. Villains keep on doing what they do.
But it's just,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if people are just hitting around and like, is there trouble in Marvel now? I mean, they got a bunch of cancellations, a bunch of writers left, their editor, they switched editor-in-chief, and then there's the whole Jim Starlin thing.
Yeah, well, the Jim Starlin thing. I mean, honestly, that's just a slow motion Alan Moore.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, what I mean,
that's just a guy who says, "Oh, my character, you want to take my character in a direction I don't want him to go."
Well, I mean, he's claiming they okay the story he was working on, I guess, for a graphic novel, and like a story very similar to it for the monthly book, and he's like, "Hey, I told you what I was doing." And I guess some people are just like, you know, are they trying to push him out the door? Just, I mean, because he's the creator of Thanos, and with Infinity War coming, are they just like, yeah, get over here, shut your mouth.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is. Here's what I'll say, and here's what I'll say with any of the original creators. And fun fact, there was an interesting bit on CBR today about the short-lived sitcom Bob. Bob Newhart, who was a comic book creator who got sort of driven out of the industry after the Comics Code.
Oh, I remember that. Okay. Mm-hmm.
His character's name was Mad Dog, and Marvel did it like a crossover that was supposed to be like the comic book, and it's about him and this other character in the story who are fighting over like what the story should be, and they released like 2 issues of it. It's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that, you know, eventually, just like when they brought back G.I. Joe, they brought back Larry Hama. You know, it didn't matter. There was, because people want that original voice there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Jim Starlin has written his last Thanos story. I think that basically there's a Thanos story, and you know, probably if I'm gonna be honest with you. Every so often, original writers want to kill their creations because they want to drown the baby so that no one else can deal with it. No one else can have it. So probably he wanted Thanos dead at the end of his story, and Marvel was like, you can't kill Thanos.
Okay.
Thanos is dead. Thanos. And so Marvel was probably like, dude, we got like 10 movies with this guy. We are moving forward. You're not killing Thanos. In the books. And what they probably told him was, look, it's fine. You want to kill Thanos, bring him back next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is comic books. Your death doesn't stay, you know.
Work for hire,
we don't care if you're the guy who killed Thanos. Thanos lives. And he was like, oh, well, I don't want you to keep on doing it after I'm done. I was like, dude, we've been doing it for years after you left. We'll keep on doing it. We'll put him back in the freaking Thanos copter. Don't question us.
Charlie said yes.
Thanos copter. Just one of them. That's all I want in Infinity War is a Thanos copter. Thanos copter. That's all I want. Rest of the movie can be nothing else, which is I just want footage of a Thanos copter, New York. And I'll say this was the best movie ever. Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. It's like I'm sure Starlin was like, "Oh, I want to kill Thanos because he's my create. Because I brought him into this world, I'm going to take him out, just like that Nick Cage film that's coming out." And you know what? Marvel said, "You may have brought him into this world, but he's not yours. You know, none of this is yours. This belongs to everybody." By which I mean the corporation that will live forever and profit off of it from everybody for all eternity. And let's be clear here, they didn't even show Jack Monroe's body. Marvel always hedges its bets. You don't get to kill anybody.
And even if you do, you come back eventually.
Off just died, and I was like, maybe she's still alive.
They always come back. What's that old saying? The only ones who don't come back are Gwen Stacy and Uncle Ben.
Yeah, Uncle Ben.
I think they used to say Bucky too, but you can't say that last.
No, you can't. Well, yeah, they brought Bucky back. Well, they used to say the only people who don't come back are Bucky and Uncle Ben, because Gwen Stacy had already
clones.
Because she'd come back as a clone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It already brought Bucky back as a clone a couple times. And, you know, there were things like that, you know. Real Bucky is back. And Uncle Ben will never be back. And Gwen Stacy will never be back. Their original forms are dead.
I heard there was a big argument at Marvel, like when they did the whole Spider-Man, the whole Spider-Man thing with Mephisto, and they got rid of the marriage, and like they brought Harry Osborn back to life. And I heard there was a big discussion at Marvel. They wanted some people over there wanted to bring Gwen Stacy back, and they were like, no.
Well, you know why? Because there's too much history.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, you're only going to destroy the legacy of Gwen Stacy if you bring her back in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact of the matter is just like, oh, no, now I have like 6 kids by Harry Osborn, and we're like happily married, and I'm like a freaking housefrau out in Long Island. Norman. Oh, and that's our story now.
We don't speak of those kids.
No, but I'm just saying, you bring her back because of Mephisto. You think it's going to be a happy story? Although they're saying that they may now undo One More Day and all this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was looking at this
Red Goblin.
Well, yeah, and I was looking at the previews for I was doing my order for like 2 months from now or whatever. But Mephisto's shown up in a lot of those books like 2 months from now. There's like some Ghost Rider book. I don't know if it's a miniseries or an ongoing. He's shown there. He's showing up in Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider because it said Ben Reilly vexes him because that's like this. He's interested in those spider people, and Ben Reilly's the one who constantly gets away from him because he keeps getting keeps getting resurrected.
Oh, spider people! Oh goodness. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Okay.
The last topic. Yeah, last topic. Happy birthday, Stan Lee.
Yes, and Michelle Nichols.
Yeah.
They have to share it. We all have to share a birthday with someone. And honestly, I can think of no one better for Stanley to share his birthday with, or Nichelle Nichols to share their birthday with, than each other. Stanley altered our world, made comic books cool. Never got the appreciation he deserved for it. Just got called to sell out because he made money off the deal. But you know what? You can't make something that revolutionizes an industry and not be successful. Not for nothing, Tesla had to work real hard to not be successful. Honestly, he did. If you actually look at the history, Tesla worked really hard to be not successful.
No.
It's more like people like, here's $1 million, Tesla. It's like, good, I will buy more pigeons. Let me buy a bunch of pigeons. Like, okay, are you couldn't like build something? I will do something at some point. Maybe a death ray. I don't know. Like, did you build the death ray? I built a thing. Maybe it's a death ray. I think it might be. I have no idea. He is like the history's biggest con artist, Tesla. Call it Tesla. Freaking lucked out by saying alternating current was a better option. Which is like great because it does this other thing, but it doesn't do these other things that it does. Because you still need to convert alternating current to direct current to make it viable. Honestly, it's not Tesla who revolutionized the world. It's the guy who said, you know what, you can actually like convert alternating current to direct current by creating an adapter. And that's what changed the world, was the person who realized that alternating and direct could be converted, because only direct current actually does activity, nothing, which is why no one said you could do anything with alternating current.
Nothing.
It can't do nothing. But Edison just wanted to put solar panels on everything and say, yeah, put a solar panel on it. That'll get you energy. But just pick a freaking battery in it. I'll sell you a battery. That's fine. But
Oil, more money.
Tesla. Not a fan, in case you didn't know.
No, couldn't tell.
Yes. Thank you, love. The oven was still on. My wife turned it off. She's awesome. Okay.
I wasn't whistling at her. That was his phone.
That's my phone. Someone texted me, and obviously it keeps on saying, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
So, should we wrap this up so you can eat some quiche before Capes and Lunatics?
Let us end this. End this now, Philip. Philip, how can people reach you out if they'd like to tell you how awesome Tesla is and why I'm a fool?
If you would like to write in and hear the further adventures of Charlie Esserverse, Nicholas Tesla, you could email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. And remember, you could follow Capes and Lunatics and Superconnectivity, all on Facebook, on Twitter, and the voicemail for everything, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
Of course, follow me on the Twitter. Says I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at IEESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle for quality. And of course, write to me in that old-fashioned email way at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Okay, thank you for connecting with us once again. Ladies and gentlemen, please connect with us again next week, because we're going to do more of these. Enjoy. Curse you, Tesla!
Stay tuned at 8 for Capes and Lunatics if you're on YouTube, and if not, why aren't you?
Yeah.
Hope you love the podcast. When Charlie and his nemesis meet once again. And I play the part of innocent bystander. Autobots roll out.